Hi everyone, it's Kay here. I'm back today to do some creations for the design team for Papercraft Secrets. And I'm using the Tropical Rainbow Printable Part 2, which is $10 on the shop, but you get so much. You get all these, these sort of sheets, and you get those ones. So I've done a lot of fussy cutting already. And it just goes on and on and on. There's lots of background papers. Isn't that beautiful? And you get words, background papers, and you get all of these things that I've cut out here, some suns, some small things you can cut out to make cards with, strips, you can cut them out as well, and you've got all of these lovely images you can use. It's a summer one, but the cards I've made are not summery. I'll show you in a minute. Well, they are summery, but they could be used for anything. And you've got these great big, you've got these big ones as well, so you can use a variety of things. I just think it's such a bright, cheerful, happy, printable, and so we're going to do some of this today. I'm just going to hopefully scoop this up and not lose a lot, because I had them all in order, but there's a coloured word I've cut out, ready to go. Because what I do is when I get them is as I fussy cut everything out and just put them in a container. So we're going to, I've already made this one today. We're going to do Gatefold cards, so that's how the inside looks. And I've used a texture to go around the outside, around the middle. I've used some black cardstock, and I've just realised it's not straight. That's all right. We can work around that. It's supposed to be handmade card, and these mistakes do happen. And then this is the other one I made with the bigger front. So that's the inside there, with just putting the suns on the side there, just for some fun. So today I'm going to show you how to make these gatefold cards, and we'll start off with a piece of A4 cardstock, which I bought from Office-Spec. This is Australian A4. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut it at 15 across there to make two card bases. Just line it up. 15. Going to just use one. We might have to use the other one for the front bit. So I'm going to, the measurements are 21 centimeters across, and we need to get a ruler, which I thought, oh, I haven't put away, which is a good thing. So we need to have, I'm using centimeters today for a change. So we need to do 5 and about 2/10. This is going to be not exact because there will be a bit of a discrepancy, unfortunately. It doesn't quite, 5 and 2/10 doesn't quite line up properly. 5 and 2/10 with the 15 cent with the measurements across. 5 and 2/10 there. I'm just marking with a pencil at the moment. I can rub that because I can rub that out, because that's across there. From there to there is 21, and you have to divide it into not equal parts, but parts, sort of, so that this fold here. Put that over there for a minute. Keep the measurements there in case you want them. And because I don't have a scoring tool, this is how I score. I just line up where the dots I've made for the measurements, and because I like to use my right hand to fold it, I have to turn around the other way. So then you're just going to do that and that, fold it down. It doesn't exactly overlap, but if you wanted to overlap, then you have to sort of figure out the measurements for yourself, because I just did it so that it was sort of met the middle, because the front bit is covered with the panel here. Okay. So we're going to, where's my rubber? Rub out the middle. You could, I did think about just using the whole lot to cover the whole, because it does fit, but then you're going to have a sort of bunching up of the middle, so I'm just going to do it in panels. So we're going to just do a line of sight like I normally do. So just going to see where the crease is, which is a bit hard in this light. Sorry, excuse my head. And then across the middle, down the bottom. So I'm just going to cut that. Going to have a look where the line is across, because I can chop all that off, because that's the bottom of this measurement here, and that's the first panel. I'm going to cut the first panel now at 5 and 2. No, it's not 5 and 2/10 because it's in the inside. I don't actually know what the measurements for this one. I know. I can do them. I just prefer to do a line of sight when I get to the card bit. So just going to put that there for a minute. Just put my ruler out the way, and my rubber out the way. Then we're going to do line of sight. Just measure it where the fold is, and on the inside as well. Oh no, I don't need to do that because we're cutting it with the cutter. So if you line it up properly, it should be straight. So look, straight. Yep. And then the last one, I know the last one would be too big, so I'm just going to cut it where I think it goes. Get in it. Just need to cut it a little bit there. Keep that to one side just in case I've done it wrong. Alright, so I'm just going to stick all that down. I'm going to use my 450 for that. With the printables, you can, because I use paper mainly, you can, if you're using paper, you can use glue sticks if you prefer, but I just prefer, sometimes I think the glue sticks bubble, and that's why I like to use the 450. It's so hard to come across, to buy for 450. Every time I go down a spot like the same place, I know that to get it, it's not always in stock. So you can see how it's creating a bit of the consistency with the pattern now. Okay, and then for the outside, I actually am going to turn it around the other way, and you'll say why, because by the time when you put the panel on the front, you're covering most of it up, so it doesn't matter if it's around the wrong way, you just need a bit of background basically. So it's going to do line of sight again, measure there and there. Cut it right across the bottom. That was the side, but now it's the bottom. Just cut that panel. That one there. And just, while I've got the cutter out, I may as well just do the other one as well. Hope you're all doing well. Keeping busy. Having fun doing some creations. I always admire those people who work, how they fit their creativity in. I'm lucky because I'm retired, so I can do it as long as I like, really. Okay. And then with the panel, I'm going to put that on the bit of cardstock I cut off, because it needs a bit of, because it's paper. I mean, if you print all your printables off on card, you wouldn't have to stick it on paper. It would make a lot faster, but because I always forget, and the paper's in the printer all the time, I just do it on paper. Get your words out, okay? So I'm just going to put it on the paper, on the card. So I buy it from Officeworks, this card, but somebody was telling me you can buy what's called presentation paper from Big W, and that's supposed to be pretty good for crafting, for creating cards and for printing off things, but I haven't used it personally, so I can't say personally what it's like, but lots of people keep saying that it's supposed to be pretty good for when you print things off. I'm not too sure it's thicker, I've got no idea. Need to go and have a look and see what I think of it. Get some. Excuse my voice, you know, it seems to sort of want to be a bit, I don't know, you might not really hear it, it just sounds a bit like it's not working properly. Okay, so that's going to go on there like that. So that's why I'm saying you only need a little bit for the background. So because it's on half, you only need to put something on half, because it's a card. What's my, oh, there it is. I'm going to use my double-sided tape this time, just to put on the card. About the middle. Because you don't want to put anything on that side, because that's the side that's going to be hanging up, kind of thing. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. So you just put the glue or the double-sided tape on the side that you want to stick down. The side that you want to stick down, it could be the left-hand side and it goes like that, or it can be on the right-hand side and go like that. So it's entirely up to you how you want your panel to work, whether you want to go from the left or from the right. It doesn't really make much difference to how you want it to look. Oh, got a bit of, what's that? A bit of glue, I think. Okay, so that goes like that, see? And then for the inside, I'm going to use one of these little boxes for the message. Pop that there. I'll show you this. With this one I did it like that, with a word as well as a little bit of decoration here. And for this one, the bigger panel, I just put the middle like that, because the background was a bit busier. So I like this gnome. It's fun. Now, because I like the black, and you can use cardstock if that's what you prefer, I'm going to use my trusty texter, like I do with lots of my cards. especially this one because it's of the dark outlines. I think the thickness better, but that's a personal preference, and you may not like that look. Might want to leave it the way it is, or we might also use a thin black line. So it just takes a bit of time to do this. If you're confident enough, you could do it freehand if you like. I always manage to stuff it up if I do it freehand with a thick pen. I can do it with the thin one, but not for some reason that's the thick one. And I feel that it makes a bit of difference, makes everything sort of pop to my liking. And because the corners aren't all that flash, sometimes I use the thin black pen just to sort of square them up a little bit. Okay. Then you can, if you've got a word you can find, you can put it there if you like, or something from your stash. I'm just going to leave it as is for the moment, and I am going to do the same for the inside because I show you this is how I did the other ones as well with the black. I just like the way it looks, but again, you don't have to. It's up to what you prefer. This is very relaxing, just drawing lines. Sorry if my head's getting in the way all the time, beg your pardon. I think I might need a new one of these. Getting a bit streaky looking. Glue, right? So just like it's nice to be able to work with nice bright colours, I think. Sort of makes you feel a little bit happy. Because I think these cards could be for children, but they could also be for grown up. Yes, I know I haven't met them up, but I'm just going to use my thin one just to match it up. Just so I can square the corners. Make them look more square, meaning. You might not want to be that fussy. So again, you might want to not do the step at all with the black lines. Okay, just make sure it's black down the middle there. Looks a bit, I think it's because it's on the edge of the paper, it doesn't sort of want to draw properly. Anyway, now you could get some, oh, look what I didn't forget, look what I forgot to do down there. You could get some other elements from the Printable and add to the card if you wanted to. Some more flowers here maybe, or what do I do with them all over here. So we could do this. I've got a couple of these left, so I didn't fussy cut these. I was worried about losing them, so I didn't actually fussy cut these bits out. So if you didn't know that fussy cutting is when you cut things out very close to the, you can leave a border if you like, or cut next to the line, and you move the paper, not the scissors. So you don't go around like that, because it's just, if you move the paper, it makes life a lot easier, and it's easy to do. It's funny because when you do it for a while, your fingers just sort of do it sort of automatically. So that can be the message. You could put happy birthday up here and then write the message up here, or write it inside write it on the box. Okay, and I'm just going to put that there. I could cut this white bit out here to be really fussy. Oh, not cut out very well, Kay. Goodness me. Cut the back, I think. That's better. That's better. Put some glue. And there's my Gatefold card. Done. Like I said, you could find some words like rainbow, put it there if you wanted to. Here, lot of variety, a couple of places you could try it out. So it definitely knows where you want to put it. I'm just trying to find another one. Precious, precious times. Could cut that out and put that. Oh. Don't know if I want to put it there now. What else have I got? Summer. There's lots of words to choose from. Grateful. Anyway, I'll decide later. But there are some choices for you to use. So there's my, and you could use something from your stash, put something on the front, or you could put one of these words on the front, on top of this panel. So there's my Gatefold card, and there's the one I made previously, and another one I made previously. So you can see there's this big panel, or you can use the little panels, and they were a lot of fun to make, really. So have a try, and something a little bit interesting and different for the person who gets it, something, because like lifting all these flaps is a bit of fun sometimes for the receiver. So thank you very much again for joining me today, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.